Open response or free response number 11. A local newspaper in a large city wants to assess support for construction of a highway bypass around the central business district to reduce downtown traffic. They survey a random sample of 1,152 residents and find that 543 of them support the bypass. Construct a 95% confidence interval to estimate the proportion of residents who support construction of the bypass. So our statement: estimate with 95% confidence the true proportion of residents who support constructing the bypass. Not an issue. Plan. You need to tell me what you're going to do. So you should have written one sample Z proportion here. Random. Random sample of 1,152 residents. So I have a p hat equal to 543 over 1152, and that gave me a proportion of 0.4714. The random is random. It says it in the problem. Normal. In p hat greater than or equal to 10, so I did 1152 times 0.4714, and that gave me 543, definitely greater than 10. N times 1 minus p hat greater than or equal to 10, 1152 times 0.5286, and I got that by subtracting 1 from this number over here, from the 0.4714. That gave me 609. Both of those are clearly greater than or equal to 10, so I can use a normal approximation, which means I get to use these scores. I need to check to see if they're independent. It is reasonable to assume that there are 10 times 1152, which gave me 11,520 residents, and it's safe to assume that one resident is independent of another resident. So now on to the do part. So when setting this up, there's a few things that was missed that cannot be missed. So setting up the formula is one of them. You have to set these up in formula form. So the first thing that I had to do was I had to write this formula out right here. That had to be written out. And then I could plug in. So then I did 0.471 plus or minus the 1.96. That was a z-crit. Not too many issues with that. And then I plugged it in. So the p being 0.471, 1 minus p hat is 0.529. I just rounded that from up here. And then I plugged it into 0.471 plus or minus 0.029, and that gave me 0.442 and 0.50. If I would have gone and done this in my calculator, so stat, test, I am running a 1 proportion z-test. So I would have gone down to number 5. Nope, I'm sorry, z-interval. One proportion z-interval. Just scroll for that one. So I had a total of 543 that said yes out of 1,052. I was conducting it at the 95% confidence interval and calculate. And that gave me 0.442 and 0.500. So my conclusion, we are 95% confident that the interval from 0.442 to 0.50 contains the true proportion of residents who support construction bypass.